Time is money. Hi everybody, David Cinelli here, Realtor with Royal LePage Signature. I'm with my talented, beautiful, lovely, younger than me wife, Natalie Balin Cinelli.
Is it like Mother's Day or something?
I just thought I'd give you the most compliments I have in the last week or so like all in one shot. So
Week, he says week.
So today is your favorite day of the week?
Sure is.
Stagers Corner Day? Yeah. Yay. Okay, so this is my lovely wife Natalie from Spaces Collective. In case you don't know, she is a stager with her, owns a company called Spaces Collective, which I mentioned before, with her partner Julia. And before we get into this, my question for the day, I also want to let you know that you do stage for other realtors. I know we've said this a number of times, but yes, you do. You don't just stage for me. As lovely as that would be for me, I think it'd be amazing if you only did my stuff, but that is just not the case. And,
yes, we do actually mostly other other realtors.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, with that being said, so if you haven't looked at Natalie's stuff in the past, I highly suggest you jump on her Instagram account. You can DM her that way if you are interested. But anyway, one of the things we've grown to know, especially with properties, it's one thing when you come in, you stage the property, and it looks great when you and Julia are done. How do you get the key benefits for a property after it's staged? Because obviously, unless you're living in it or you're walking through it, there's got to be some sort of ways that you won't get the max benefit.
Well, the ideal situation is that there's nobody living in the house once we're staged. It's really, I know it's not, an option for everybody, but it's really beneficial to not be in the property at all. If it's for 1 week or 2 weeks, go get an Airbnb, go get a rental, not just for your place to look good, but for your sanity as well. When people are walking through the home, it should feel warm and inviting, and you're gonna have to live like it's a showroom for the duration of it being on market. So that's really challenging. You don't want people to walk into your cooking smells. You don't want to forget to make your bed every time you get up. I don't know what else. Keeping the bathroom clean, keeping all like the toothpaste and all of personal items like tucked away. So it's probably the biggest challenge of being on the market is living through the showings, and that's in a regular time period. That's not even COVID time period. So I think the best way is just once we're in there, once we've set everything up, it's just completely hands off until the property's sold, and you can come back in and we can come get everything out. That's number one.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I would say too, it's not even for cleanliness, and because obviously there are smells and crumbs and stuff too. But there's small things like if you sit on a pillow or misplace a pillow the wrong way and it shows up, just doesn't look as good.
We do all our little karate chops to our pillows and they look perfect. And then as soon as they're kind of sat on, and not that people should be doing this, but you don't want people to come in and sit on your sofa anyway. But you just want it to look fresh and not necessarily so lived in. And you don't want people walking in and getting that idea that it's like sloppy or messy or anything. And that's just from regular living. I don't know if you guys can see behind us here.
I edited that out. I kind of cut that out so people don't see our mess behind us.
So, you should. Living is living, especially with kids in the house. But you kind of want to make it look as showroom and walk-through ready as possible at all times. And even with showings, sure you can get a little bit of notice, but it's also a challenge. What if you're in the middle of dinner, or what if you're in the middle of making lunch, or a phone call, or a work Zoom call or something, and you don't really have the opportunity to kind of clean up after yourself? It's super tough.
Yeah. What's another tip you were going to start before I cut you in the last one?
I don't know. You have to remind me.
We're talking about tips, things to make you look special.
Oh. Just trying to think what else.
Putting you on the spot.
I know. This is like what we were supposed to talk about.
So one thing I don't know, I always, one of the reasons why I use my videographer and photographer, I think that's another tip as well. You want your place to look amazing and when you walk in, but you also, to draw the people in, it's very important that you get the right photographer and videographer to do that for you. They do amazing wonders. Like I use Vision 360 for most of my, almost all exclusively for all of my my listings. Why do I use it? Because, well, first of all, they know what I'm looking for, and they make your stuff pop right off the page. And there's other videographers out there who do a good job as well. I've gotten to know my guys very well, and it's kind of like what works for me. It's a little disheartening sometimes when I see a listing and I'm like, oh, it had so much potential, and you go like, or you're not really sure what it looks like online, and you go see it in person, like, oh my God, this is better in person than it did on the photo. That should never ever happen.
So our goal with Stages is to make you fall in love with the property once you walk in. But it all starts way before that, and that starts with the first time you see it online. And the way the photography is done, you want people to walk in with that expectation of, I'm going to be wowed, and then live up to that expectation once they're actually in the property. Just like not all realtors are created equal, not all stages are created equal, not all photographers are created equal. You know, you kind of get what you pay for sometimes, most all the time.
All the time. Remember, cheap is expensive. I've used that one before.
Yeah, and you know, you really want, if you've spent all this time and money in preparing your property to get it ready for market, and you know, you've gone through the exercise of now like having it beautifully staged, you also want to have it beautifully photographed as well. So
basically, choose the right people for every job, but once we're trying to say for you. And you also have to find out which one fits well with you as well. I think, you know, there's personalities. You know, we have different mortgage brokers, different realtors. It's like we always just making sure everybody kind of meshes together to get the right person. Anyway, we've rambled on a little longer than we wanted to today, but anyway, if they, again, I said your name before, if they want to get in touch with you, what's the easiest way for them to get in touch with you?
You can send myself or Julia a DM at spaces.collective on Instagram.
And I am David B. Cinelli _ and I'm all over social media so far, or at least I try to be. So if you haven't started following either one of us, maybe give us a follow or like and send us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.